Hi guys, my name's Tom, welcome to Keyboard Skills Pro. Today I'm going to show you how to compose your own cool little piece of music in under 10 minutes. If you always want to write your own piece of music, this tutorial is for you. To do this, you're going to need the following items. Number one, you're going to need some manuscript paper that is blank. This is the paper that has the lines on for writing music notation on. You're also going to need some pens, some pencils, and a good eraser. And if you've got an instrument that you play, bring that along too. I'm going to be playing on the piano. So let's head over to the keyboard and I'm going to show you how to write a total piece of music in under 10 minutes. Let's go. So what we're going to do first of all, we're going to not use our manuscript paper. I want you to get just a scrap of paper, a piece of A4, something like this, letter paper, and fold it in half. And what we're going to do first of all, we're going to draw out what we call a chart, and this is going to help us do two things. One, it's going to help us get some chords to back our melody and also give us the notes with which to write a tune. So this is going to be our little reference chart. So first of all, what I want you to do is positioning the paper perhaps in a portrait style is draw me a line across like that, and then about an inch in, put your pencil about 1.5 inches above and draw a line that goes all the way down like that. That's why we use a ruler. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to put here C major, and that will remind us what key we're in, C major. Okay, now after that, what I want you to do is I want you to draw me 7 rows across, evenly spaced. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just make that line a bit better there, and 7 at the bottom. Put some numbers in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, what I now want you to do is I want you to draw me 3 columns going down. Okay, so from the top, 1, 2, and there's our third one. Okay, so what you should end up with is a chart looking a little bit like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put above here, we're going to write here next to number 1 the first note of the C scale, which funnily enough is C. What I want you to do then is I want you to go down that column alphabetically, filling in the notes that come after. And of course that's fairly simple, provided we know our musical alphabet. C, D, E, F, G, and then we've got A, and of course B. Now I'm going to switch pens now, just so we can see this differently. And we're going to go across now. We're going to go from C to the next square. But I want you to imagine that this line is the letter in between we're going to miss out. So we go C, miss D, the next one is E. We then miss F, and then we do G. And that, if you're a piano or keyboard player, you'll notice, is the notes of the C chord, C, E, G. What you then simply do is go down each column. Finally, I want you to put a line through number 7, because that chord we are not going to use in this tutorial. I want you to put next to the 2 a small m. I want you to put next to the 3 a small m, and next to the 6 a small m. And that means that those chords are minors. Okay, so we've got C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. The last chord we're not going to use. This column will give us the notes of the scale to use, but also we can use any of the notes in the chord that we're using. So if we're using number 4, we can use an F, an A, or a C for our melody note. So if you haven't done that, pause the video now, draw that chart out, and have a look, and then we'll carry on with the next part of the lesson. Okay, so first of all, we're going to jot out some bars. Obviously you can fit more on normal size music, but we're going to do the first 4 here. And we're going to put in a treble clef on both staves. And for this tutorial, we're going to do the music in 4/4 time. Okay, so 4 beats to the bar. And the first thing you're going to want to do is to sketch out your chords, the actual chords that the guitarist or the pianist might play to accompany your violin part or clarinet part if you're one of those musicians. So What's the best chord to start with? Well, we've got a choice of 6 chords, okay? The best one to start with to begin your composing career is to go with number 1. Put a star next to number 1 because that is your home chord. It's the most important one of the batch. So let's go first of all with chord number 1, and we're going to write that above the stave. We're going to put a big capital C, okay, the C major chord. Now the next chord, we've got a choice of 2, 3, 4 or 5. Well, we could do lots of things here. We could close our eyes and go that one. We could get a dice and roll the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's quite a fun way to compose. Let's go with number 4 though, and that's an F chord, so I'm going to write a capital F. Okay, let's do the next chord. Let's go that one, D minor. Okay, so you can see, why is it a minor? Well, it's the second chord, and in major keys, the second chord by its default setting is a minor. And what should we do for the next one? Let's go for, well, we haven't had number 5 yet. Let's go for number 5, which is G. Okay, now what we've got there is now 4 bars with 4 chords in. Let's go over the page. What do you think the last chord should be? The most important one, that's right, C. Let's put a C at the end. And I'll give you a tip here at the end. The bar before, you either want to go with chord number 4 or chord number 5. And what these two chords do, these help the C chord sound a lot more finished. It sounds like an ending. Now for fun, let's put in both 4 and 5. So that means we'll play 2 beats on F, 2 beats on G. We're starting the next section of our song. Let's go again with the C chord. And what should we go? We've only had number 3 yet, have we? Let's do E minor. Now, I'm sort of picking chords that I know that work, but the cool thing is with these chords is they will work pretty much in any order. It's all about experimenting. Okay, so how do we now write our song? Well, we've got a choice of 3 different types of notes. Okay, we're going to use crotchets, we're going to use minims, and we're going to use semi-breves. Okay, now these guys are the values of the notes. The first one is worth 1 beat, the second is worth 2, and the big one at the end is worth 4. Now, you can use as whichever one of these you like, providing that it always adds up to 4 beats. So if you use that one, that's the only one you're allowed in the bar. You can use one of those and 2 of those, 2, 3, 4. Use 4 of those, you can use one of those, then one of those, then one of those, as long as it adds up to 4. Okay, so let's pick our first chord. So we've got a C major chord. Now the notes that will work with a C major chord are C, E, and G. We can see that because we've written out the C chord. If we're playing a C chord, the melody notes that will work are C, E, G. So what do we do? Well, let's start with the obvious one. Let's go with a C note. So I'm going to put my middle C line in, and I'm going to draw a 2 count note right under the first chord symbol. Let's then use another 2 beat note, and we'll climb up to E. Okay, stick goes up. And then I'm going to go for a 4 count F, because if I'm playing an F chord, an F melody note is definitely going to work. Let's go now across to D minor. Now D minor, look, has D, F, A. Well, we're already on F, so why don't we use an F 1 beat note? Let's use another F 1 beat note. Let's go up to, let's go down to D, jumping up to the A, and then we're then at the end of the first 4 bars, and 4 bars tend to work, the last bar, the 4th bar, tends to work better if you use longer notes. So let's use a 2 beat G, and then we'll climb up to a 2 beat B. Let's continue now with our next section. We already had written in some chords, C, E minor, F, G, majors, and of course C at the end. Now here's a bit of an obvious question, but what do you think is the best note to finish on? That's right, a C note. Let's finish on a high C note. So we won't finish on middle C, we'll do C above middle C, and this is going to be a 4 beat note. As that one is there, let's work backwards, and let's put from the F chord the A note for 2 beats, and on the G chord let's climb up towards C. Look, we're climbing. Music likes to climb. Let's go with the B note for 2 beats. Do you know one of the really easiest things to do that composers do all the time? They reuse bits they've already written. So as we're starting our second section with a C chord, let's reuse the exact same notes on the 5th bar. The 5th bar is the start of the new section. There we go, C and E. We've then got an E minor chord. What did we do before? Well, we had a great big long note, so let's do that. Now, you can see at the end, look, we're climbing A, B, C. Let's continue the climb, C, E. So from the E chord, if we've got something like maybe an F or a G, there's a G, let's go with that G, look, and we'll put it there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, moving our sheet out of the way, is our complete song. Now, that takes a little time to get used to, but as you can see, it's really simple to compose a complete song, just like that. Let's see what it sounds like.